Hello everybody, welcome back to Pesterquest. Stream was starting GCat, yes. He's even a white kitty too, so he is a very GCat-like cat sometimes. So today, we are presumably doing Jane and Jake, I would imagine. Oh, just Jane. Just Jane. Interesting. Are they gonna, like... Is this going to be one kid per day from now on? Huh. That's interesting. Okay. So, normally I do this at the end of the stream, but I actually want to check the credits to see who's writing this one, because I've mentioned this on the stream before, and also mentioned it on my blog. But, let's see. Who is writing Jane? Pip Dillistone. Someone I've never heard of. Interesting. I don't know. So yeah, this is... So yeah, we're doing Jane today, apparently. And just Jane, unless a new one pops up as soon as I finish this one. 20 characters, 14 volumes. The math doesn't quite add up there. Anyway. 2 trolls per volume, 1 kid per volume. Okay. There we go, then. Okay, so yeah, we're still got 8 more weeks of this. Or 6 more weeks, probably. Because, yeah, 1, 2, yeah. No, we're not going to get alpha trolls. We were never going to get... I don't know why people think we're going to get alpha trolls in this thing. I mean, like, seriously, like, 2 of the alpha trolls actually matter. I don't know why people were so excited about the idea of meeting the alpha trolls in this thing. Anyway. Yeah, 2 of them actually matter, and only 1 of them is still around, as far as we know, in the post-canon. But anyway, so yeah, we're doing Jane today. Not looking... I am legit not looking forward to this one, because this is either going to be, it's like, oh, remember when Jane was nice? Or it's going to be like, wow, they are really doubling down on this idea that Jane was terrible from the beginning, and no, she wasn't. She wasn't terrible, and... So yeah, this is either going to be depressing for one reason or depressing for another reason, probably. And yeah, let's see. It's a beautiful moonlit night in Alternia. The sky is clear, a cool breeze is blowing, and even the unbearable screeching of the steel-throated bat crickets sounds a little sweeter than usual. And yet, a moment of panic hangs in the air. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like people were hoping for Calliope and Caliborn, like that's not, they're not, like Calliope's great, but she's really not a main character. Like it was kind of clear from the outset that when we were going to get a Pesterquest about the main characters of Homestuck, I don't know why there was ever any, like, mystery about who they meant. It's the main kids and the main trolls. We know who those are. We know who those characters are. Anyway. A moment of panic hangs in the air. Dave, are you okay? Oh, shit. Hey! Oh god. What's she done? Dave? Oh no. Please tell me that's just grub sauce. There's a callback. Please just be grub sauce. Please just be grub sauce. Please just be grub sauce. Carcat, stop being so melodramatic. What the hell is that? It wasn't even me who did it. Well, okay. What? Okay, fine. It was my fault, I admit it. What happened? I'm sure he'll be fine. What? Yeah, Carcat, it's no biggie. I mean, this is obviously the shittiest situation I could possibly be in right now. And like, my lawyers will be in touch. Don't even think that they won't. But also, it is literally fucking grub sauce. Like, chill for 2 seconds, okay? Dave, why are you here? You have not been, you missed, some of the, Pesterquest logs, I think, if you're wondering why Dave is here. Oh, thank God. Like, I knew the idea of me having to swap out my soiled ketchup-crusted pants is getting y'all hot and bothered under that sweater, but damn. This is a picnic, dude. There are children present. And just like that, everything's alright. Okay, so So yeah, Dave is here. Dave is here because we teleported him to Alternia in Nepeda's route. And apparently he's having a picnic with Vriska and Terezi. And Carcat. You have single-handedly revolutionized the art of panicking on Alternia. You've got a huge checkered blanket, a car-sized wicker hamper, an unholy quantity of foods and Tupperware containers, a lively crowd of your best and most recently acquired friends, everything one could possibly need. And yeah, we get in some Dave Cat. Shit's quaint as all fuck out here. Hey! Oh, and Rose is here too. Rose was not here before. Just for the record. So how many tentacles would you say she has, roughly? Let me see, C spelled like that. It's okay, take your time. My interest is, purely scientific? Oh god. The thirst. Tentacle thirst. Rose was not here before, but we finally got the Rose Kanaya reunion, or union. Not reunion, just union. That everybody was begging for from Kanaya's route. Yes, precisely. Thank you, Kanaya. This is part of my studies in the field of cryptozoology. It's hardly an exact science, but you can help us make it exacter. Well, that's the problem. I really don't think there is a definite answer. She just has so many. Jesus Christ. Fascinating. Everybody seems to be having a really great time. You're a pretty good picnic host, if you do say so yourself. You let yourself lie back on the blanket and relax. Nepeta, could you pass me one of those beautiful green pies, please? Oh, no. Sir, just let me... It's okay, I got this. Even the Eridan's present. Dude. Step off, LMAO. She didn't ask you for your help. Everyone's getting along so well. Well, I didn't ask for your opinion on whether the mid-blood human female wanted my help or not. Mid-blood? Oh yeah, I suppose I suppose he would identify her as mid-blood just because of the green eyes. Oh my god, did you seriously just call her that? What is wrong with you? Guys? Humans don't even have different blood colors, you useless tool. Simply enjoying one another's company. Alright, that does it. I've had enough of your wishy-washy lawn meal nonsense. And I've had enough of you. Oh boy. Oh, thanks, Nepeta. No problem. Eat shit and die. I'd say, well, somebody's, it's like... Yeah, Jade and Nepeta is a good ship that deserves more attention. But anyway, eat shit and die. Why don't you make me? It would be my pleasure. Wait, what's going on over there? Oh no, dear god, no, not now! This is a disaster! You've got to find some way to stop this before everything you've worked for collapses under the weight of pointless, shitty boy drama. You'll have a moment to lose. What's better than this? Guys being allies. Oh, hi there, Gamgee. Don't mind you, you're just trying to stop you're just trying to stop a picnic emergency? Hey, hold on, sister, let's not be hasty. Right now we're witnessing the birth of the greatest, and dare I say, most righteous miracle of them all. Gender motherfucking equality? I'm just gonna keep this screenshot for later, because I don't know what the fuck to make. And just like that, everything breaks apart. You wake up alone. In a dark night, in a cold, dark night in Alternia, the sky is overcast, a harsh wind is blowing, and the only other sound to be heard is your own breathing. Panicked, shaky, you curl up a little tighter in your puddle of blankets in the corner. Oh, it was all just a dream. That's a shame. Gender motherfucking equality, I guess. You try and think back to the wonderful dream you were having, but now it all seems ruined. You're only trying to take a short rest from fomenting revolutionary sentiment among your peers and fixing all their problems, which, as it turns out, is a full-time job. You just want to indulge your imagination for a while and skip to the part where everyone's happy already. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It all seems so real, so full of potential, like you could get there in an instant if only you tried a little harder. But now it hits you like a cold, wet circus pie filled with cement. Your dream of hope was nothing more than that. With no basis in reality or accurate characterization, some things are simply too good to be true, and your subconscious clearly knew that all along. It hurts, and you don't know whether to laugh, cry, or just get really, really angry about it. Alright, Ken. No. Good. Down. No. You've made some wonderful friends over the last few weeks. Months? It's been such a hectic whirlwind of non-stop amicability. You're not even sure how long you've been going. You've achieved so much in your quest, you know that for a fact. But now, looking around this empty room filled with the ghosts of memories from a lifetime ago, you can't help but feel despondent. Maybe there are some things you won't ever be able to fix. Man, this blows. For some reason, your thoughts turn to John. He was conspicuously absent from your dream. It feels like you haven't seen him for ages. You miss him. Without really thinking about it, you pick yourself up. You've had enough of this horrible plan for now. Alright, so that's how we're gonna meet Jane, I guess. We're just gonna shoot for John and miss. Your friends here will be alright without you for a while. You tell yourself that a few times, just to make sure you believe it, and then zap. You materialize in a pleasantly familiar suburban neighborhood, standing in front of a pleasantly familiar house. It must be fate. It must be late fall by now. There are barely any leaves left in the trees, and there's a chill in the air. Would you say it's sometime in November? November 11th, perhaps? It would have been really cool if they could have, like, timed this out by just a few months so that this actually did come out mid-November. Anyway. But your heart fills with warmth at the prospect of hanging out with your old friend John again. While your newer friends have all been fun to spend time with in their own ways, you can't help but feel a special kind of fondness for John. It's not like it's not like you play favorites with your chums or anything, but maybe the fact that he was the first friend you've been on your journey sets him apart from the others. It's nice to be back on Earth, too. You miss being able to go out in the sunshine. Your eyes wander a little, taking the trees, the grass, the houses, before settling on the mailbox in the yard. A worrying thought occurs to you. Maybe in getting so caught up with meeting so many new people, John has forgotten all about you. Surely your friendship wouldn't have diminished so quickly, but were you really all that close to begin with? You still feel bad about having thrown his birthday present in the sewer all that time ago. That was just such an incredibly shitty thing to do, in more ways than one. You were a really bad friend to John, before you were friends with John. You're suddenly overcome with the urge to make it up to him. Instead of making a new friend today, why not try being a better friend to the one you already have? Take a peek at the mailbox. There seems to be something inside. Taking a peek at the mailbox. Blah, blah, blah. Alright. Andrew. I wonder if they're even gonna let us make this choice, because like that was the quote unquote mistake we made with John. You know, and so like I give it a reasonably high chance that we're gonna pick this, and MSPA reader is just gonna say, no, we're not gonna do that again. Are you kidding? Yeah, that's an excellent idea. John will be so happy that the mail came with no mishap, and so grateful that you, his trusted pal... What? Did I just see that? If I saw something back there, it might have been G-Cat. It might... you know... I don't know if I actually saw something, or if my eyes were just playing tricks on me, but I saw a flash there, and it might have been G-Cat. Anyway. Yeah, that's an excellent idea. John will be so happy that the mail came with no mishap, and so grateful that you, his trusted pal, were able to make it happen. Perhaps you could even pretend it's an apology gift you got him. Wow, you've gotten so good at being a friend by now, it's not even real. There's basically no way this plan can backfire. You reach a hand inside the mailbox to grab the package, and then everything goes dark. Oh, that's right! the mailbox exploded. I forgot that was a thing. Well, it's been a long time since I read X6. Well, rest in pieces, I guess. Alright. I'm gonna grab some more water. It's yeah. Yeah. I donated blood this morning, and that always leaves you a little dehydrated. Okay, so yeah, the mailbox blew up because that was a thing that happened, and I totally forgot about it. It's a deep cut right there. Anyway, reconsider. On second thought, that's a terrible idea. Like, holy shit, that's bad. You take a moment to slap yourself around the face for a few minutes just to rub it in. How could you be so stupid? The kind of depravity that leads one to desecrate the sanctity of a friend's mailbox is what got you into this mess in the first place. Oh, huh. Looks like the mailman forgot to put up the, the thing. The flappy wingy doodad. The bright red arm dealie on the side of the mailbox. You're quite certain that this thing is supposed to be up there when there's mail to be retrieved? Even an idiot could tell you that much, and you are a first-rate idiot. Cat, stop playing with that. You carefully raise the little red flag. Immediately, out of the corner of your eye, you spy movement in an upstairs window. It must be John, scoping out the mail again. Quick as a flash, you zap yourself out of sight and behind a nearby bush. A white cat is hanging out back here. It hisses at you, but you let it wave a crackling Recon energy dance across your palm. It hisses at you, but you let it wave a crackling Retcon energy dance across your palms, and the kitty vanishes. It literally just straight up disappears. That's... okay, fine, whatever. It is a truth universally acknowledged that cats can do whatever the hell they want. Except for taking this hiding spot, that is, which you have now commandeered in the name of friendship. Okay, you gotta stop playing with that. Alright. Oh, this is a much better plan to surprise John. You can't believe you didn't think of it before. You know he loves pranks, and what better prank than to be ambushed by a dear friend? You hope you're still his dear friend. Oh god, you're getting nervous again? Hear the front door open. Shoot, here he comes. Hey, there we go. Gumshoe. Wait, this isn't John. Oh goodness no. Why, it appears to be some kind of famous detective-type individual. Or at least someone in a famous detective disguise. But what's more, you get the strange impression that the person underneath the disguise isn't John either. Whoever it is, they make a beeline for the mailbox. Oh shit. Maybe you're watching another mailbox robbery in action. That would explain the need for a disguise, you guess. They reach out their hand. All of a sudden, several things race through your mind unbidden. The smell of burning, a flash of light, pain. Without thinking, you spring into action. Oof! You grab the interloper and zap inside the house. You both materialize in midair and collapse in the heap on the floor. Outside, you hear the telltale sound of an exploding mailbox, because for some reason you know what those sound like. Yeah, this is nice. It's like I still love the idea that in the Alpha timeline, problem sleuth is the big MSPA thing. Whew, that was a close one. Oh lordy, that's smarts. What? What on earth just happened? Your companion sits in a bit of a daze. It looks like the disguise got knocked off in all the kerfuffle. Your hunch was right on the money. This is definitely not John Egbert. She does look oddly familiar, though. You take a look out the window, right down to the yard below. Yep, it's just like your ears told you. Where once there was a mailbox, there is now a smoldering wooden stump, surrounded by debris. It's a sight to bring a tear to any mailman's eye, fake or otherwise. Sure. You turn back around to find the stranger standing over you, looking thoroughly disgruntled. She's pointing a large red spoon directly at your chest. It really doesn't come off as all that threatening, you have to be honest. Well, she could probably do you at least some form of injury with it. The injury likely wouldn't be all that serious, but you tried to take it seriously anyway. Just to be polite. Now hold on one moment, Buster. Who are you? What are you doing in my bedroom? And what in blue blazes is going on? Come on, spit it out. No, you hate being put on the spot. And the first question was such a tough one, too. Who are you? It's something you don't have a definite answer to, even after all this time. Gosh, he does seem awfully confident with that spoon. You begin to entertain the thought that this girl might simply decide to beat you to death with it. You're finding it hard to think amid all the confusion. Didn't you say this was her bedroom? You were dead certain this was John's house. It is John's house. It even has the tire swing and everything. And this girl, who even is she? John's never mentioned having a sister or anything before. But looking around the room, it's obvious that she lives here, and there's no trace of any of John's things. Did he move house without telling you? That thought makes you impossibly sad. Oh god. Side thought: if GCat is a clone of Jasper's, that technically makes Jasperos and GCat Tavros some form of relatives. Okay, that's a thought. Oh, good lord. Well, if you won't talk, I suppose I have to suss out the truth myself. She looks at you very carefully for a moment before glancing over at one of the posters on the wall. It's a black and white picture of what looks like a daring group of detectives. They're drawn in a fairly minimal style with round ovaloid heads. Immediately, her face lights up in recognition. That's right, we do look like a problem sleuth, Ian, person. Oh, I see. Oh, mum's the word. She taps the side of her nose knowingly and winks. You realize that she's trying to let you know that she knows something that you supposedly both know. But all you really know is that you have no idea what it is. Oh, you're very good. Pretending not to know that which you know that I know that we both know? No, you're telling her you haven't got the foggiest clue what she's talking about. Knowing stuff? How could anyone possibly accuse you of such a thing? Oh, it's alright, I won't tell anyone. Keeping incognito is of the utmost importance for problem sleuths like us. Always a pleasure to meet a fellow fan. I mean, this is a fairly reasonable guess of hers. MSP Area was too lazy to lead problem sleuth. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, that is a point. Doc Scratch never did tell MSP Area to read problem sleuth, did he? You know. Well, I'll give you this. At least Jane is making more logical conclusions than she did in Namco High. Who remembers Namco High? I played that on stream like a year or two ago, and Jane in that one was just absolutely horribly written. like whoever had to write Jane in Namco High seemed to think that her one and only character trait was being skeptical. And so she just didn't believe that anything weird was going on in the school, even though it was a school full of like video game characters who were always doing weird shit 24/7 constantly, and it was the most baffling thing. Anyway, she seems to be under the impression that you're some sort of cosplayer, either that or an undercover agent of some sort. What the hell? You might as well roll with it. This will be easier than pretending to be a postal worker at any rate. Pepperidge Farmer members. Hold on a moment. I've got just the thing for a fellow gentleperson of taste. She puts the spoon away for a moment, which is a relief. Then whips out another copy of the poster and a pen out of nowhere, and signs it? You've never met of or heard of this girl before, and she's just straight up giving you her autograph. You take a look at the signature. The name reads Jane Crocker. Huh. Guess this girl's name is Jane, then. Now that I've got that out of the way. Nice though it is to make your acquaintance, that doesn't explain what you're doing in my house. Or, come to think of it, how we even got here. Well, it's all very simple, actually. Just a boring everyday example of an innocent bystander stepping in to save an unwitting teen from a parcel bomb with their zappy hell treasure powers. Nothing weird at all. You zap around the room a bit by way of demonstration, and you get back where you started. Transportalization technology. I knew various competitors of ours had been developing something like that for a while, but I had no idea they were already doing field tests. I suppose it shouldn't surprise me. By the parcel bomb, you say? You gesture out the window at the sad, obliterated remains of the mailbox, which was nothing anyone could. There was nothing anyone could do to save it or its contents. Oh shoot! Jay wasn't expecting extremely important deliveries, was she? Potentially in the form of significant birthday gifts or a copy of a mysterious computer game. You mean the Spur Alpha? I'm not surprised you've heard about it. That isn't due for another week, though. Oh, well, that's a relief then. No harm done. I wouldn't go quite that far. Alpha notwithstanding, the fact remains that somebody tried to blow me up. Okay, so some harm done. Some harm done. Gee, the nerve of some people. You cannot fathom who could possibly want to do such a thing, and especially someone as harmless and personable as Jane here. Wait, are they saying that Jane received 2 separate mail bombs within a week? I mean, yeah, probably. She never seemed too, miffed about the first time we saw it happen. Oh, come on. One doesn't like to state the obvious, but if I had to guess, it's probably related to my being in line to inherit one of the largest corporations on the planet. Crocker Corp has its enemies, there's no question about that. Oh, of course, that's why her surname was so familiar. Jane is the new face of the Betty Crocker Company. You don't know what you expected, considering what happened on your journey so far. You should have seen this sort of thing coming. You should have seen this sort of thing coming. Speaking of which, you wonder aloud if anything like this has ever happened before. The only thing that could make this any more surprising if Jane had been sent similarly life-threatening cargo in any previous occasions. Oh, yes. Why, we get mailed something similar just last week, in fact. We got mailed something similar just last week, in fact. You try not to think too hard about the fact that Jane apparently fell for the exact same trick 2 weeks in a row. Father was out in the yard about to take his car out back for a soak when the blessed mailbox went up in smoke. It was quite the shock. Ever since then, he's been a bit antsy about me checking the mail for myself, but today it arrived while he was out. Good thing, too. He would have thrown a fit if he'd known. I'm barely allowed out of the house as it is. I'm sure he means well, but it can come off as a bit overprotective sometimes. It's plumb ridiculous. A grown lass full of vim and vigor could take perfectly good care of herself. You don't want to pass hasty judgment on someone's familiar situation, but it sounds like Jane's father is just trying to keep her safe. It can't be easy constantly deflecting death threats away from someone determined to walk right into them. Where's your sense of self-preservation? I suppose it might seem strange to the uninitiated, but you sort of learn to accept it after a while. I've been dodging death threats ever since I can remember. People seem really determined to do me in. I simply can't explain it. Jesus, wow. That must be pretty rough going. God, that sounds awful, actually. Being the imminent ruler of an empire must come with a fair number of people who want you gone. Thinking back to your encounter with Pfeffery, you suppose that you were recently part of such an attempt yourself, in a manner of speaking. You declined to mention this to Jane, and being reminded of your time in Alternia causes you to lapse into an uncomfortable silence. Jane looks around a little awkwardly before breaking it. That's another thing that never gets enough attention, I don't think, is that, like, Jane and Pfeffery are sort of, like, stepsisters, or something like that. And that's something that, and that's, like, a relationship that I wish got explored at all, ever, by anyone. So, not that I'm ungrateful for the fact that you appear to have rescued me from certain peril, but... Oh, right, of course. You're intruding in a complete stranger's home. You'd almost forgotten that this was the first time you met, and Jane had... You'd almost forgotten that this is the first time you and Jane have ever met. Your heart sinks as you consider that, between the vastness of the universe and the determination of those attempting to murder her, this might be the last time you'll ever meet as well. Jesus. Jane offers to show you out. On the way downstairs, you politely ask her how long it... Jesus Christ. It took me a second to notice pop-up back there. Jesus. Is it just me or does the angle on these backgrounds make Jane look really short? Kinda, yeah. I don't even think it's the angle, it's just she is drawn being short. Which is a fairly common thing I've seen. Like even in the epilogues, they were always talking about how like everybody is taller than Jane, but she's got like that Amanda Waller thing going in the epilogues. You know, where she's just like short, fat, and terrifying. Anyway, Jane offers to show you out. On the way downstairs, you politely ask her how long it's been since her family moved here. Does she know if anyone called John used to live in this house? She gives you a strange look before gesturing to oh god, is that a corpse by the fireplace? You take a moment to process the fact that Jane has a stuffed human person mounted on a plinth in her living room. She says it's her pop-up, which you guess means grandfather. It's kind of hard to parse some of the vocabulary Jane uses sometimes. Anyway, the guy's name was John, and you can't help but see a resemblance to your good friend Egbert. You've encountered enough coincidences by now to know that this must be him, somehow. You must have traveled forward in time by accident, or some such. This is the only possible explanation. I mean, you're not entirely incorrect. Although, like, time is very timey-wimey in this thing, but, you know. You try very hard not to have a whole mental breakdown about your apparently long-dead friend, but sadly not hard enough. However, at the sights of your various expressions of horror, shock, and confusion, Jane perks up considerably. Did you know my dear old Pop-Pop? You should have said something. Oh, that's cute. She's got like John's star eyes. That's adorable. Like here, it's like this has been my break screen forever. Addition. See? Star eyes. Look at that. Family resemblance. I love it. Yay. Anyway. You should have said something. He was a popular fellow, so I suppose it was only a matter of time before one of the friends from his performing heydays came to visit. That's right, Jane. Keep talking about him and your friendship in the past tense. This is totally helping you feel better. Oh, by which you mean to say? Yes, Jane, you're absolutely right. You are an old, entertaining friend of your Pop-Ups, who just so happened to be visiting the area in the middle of the, circus touring season? You try not to be too insulted when Jane eats the lie... You try not to be too insulted when Jane eats the lie up without a moment's hesitation. Well, if one of my old Pop-Up Crocker's pals is here, I suppose I can't just turn you on the street like some nobody. And Pop-Up would never forgive me for giving a family friend the cold shoulder. You simply must stay a while longer, I insist. You cannot help but agree enthusiastically, and here you were thinking this volume was over before it really got started. Gee, this makes a nice change. You've grown accustomed to putting in a lot of hard work to score some hangout time with various people on your journey, but all it took to convince Jane was a pre-established connection with her apparently very wealthy relatives. It just goes to show you stuff. I'm afraid I haven't fulfilled my duties as host very well so far, but I'm determined to change that, starting now. But, what to do? Isn't Roxy's Earth flooded because of Jane? No, Roxy's Earth is flooded because the convents flooded it. What to do? You've been playing the game of friendship long enough now to sense an important decision approaching. You take a quick inventory of Jane's important character details. You mean interests and personality traits. She seems to have a passion for the lost art of sleuthing and famous detectives of years past. Her imminent inheritance of a baking conglomerate and expert spoon-wielding likely indicate that she knows her way around the cake, or a cake or two as well. Why don't the two of you practice some self-care? Solve a mystery. Well, there is the obviously correct... Well, cat, you're... My cat is taken to, sitting himself directly under my chair whenever I'm playing at the computer. Hang on. More water! You know, I'm just gonna get a second glass right now, because, Jesus. This is what happens when you try to stream while dehydrated. How they kind of get to the alpha session is shenanigans, our most thorough explanation. Kind of. Yeah, it's... Yeah. Shenanigans is basically our most thorough explanation, because, like, the contents was in the alpha timeline and the beta timeline, or she was on Earth A and Earth B. She was around the beta kids and she was around the alpha kids, and both times she was Jane's adopted mother. You know, just a century or two apart. How that happened, we really have no idea. Like, and yeah, because Nana Jane did in fact specifically say that her adopted mom was an alien, so, like, we know Condence was on Earth A, you know, in the Beta Kids timeline. How? We don't really know. So there's an so the dialogue is very clearly leading us this direction. So I think we're going to pick the other way and just do that. I can't really imagine how this will end badly, but you never know. Yeah, you know, it's like there are a bazillion different ways. It's like they also like refer to them sometimes as Earth A and Earth B, and then Earth C, even though Earth C is really just Earth B, just transplanted to Universe C. Yeah, there are too many different ways to distinguish between the timelines, and some of them cross-pollinate. It's a little hard to keep track, you know. Anyway, practice some self-care, because, sure. You know what? All this heavy stuff has really been getting to you recently. Christ, you left Alternia to get away from the hell-murdery nonsense, but if anything, it feels just as stressful back here on Earth with Jane. The adrenaline rush from the impromptu rescue is beginning to wear off, and your legs start to go all wobbly. You slump down against the wall, exhausted. Man, this really took a lot out of you. Oh gracious, are you alright? Yeah, you just need a minute. God, this is so weird and embarrassing. How come it's only once you were out of the bad situation that you stopped being able to cope with it? That is like a thing. Like when you're in a bad, like this happened to me too when somebody set my apartment on fire last fall, where, like, when it was happening, like, when my house was literally on fire, it was like, well, this is bullshit, but we're dealing with it, so whatever. And then, like, it wasn't until, like, a week later where it was like, huh, somebody tried to kill me. That's a thing, you know? And that was when I had some trouble dealing with it, but that's a whole other story. It's only kind of how come it's only once you were out of the bad situation that you stopped being able to cope with it? You try to pull yourself together, but then your stomach growls like an aggressive, hungry cat. Come to think of it, you haven't eaten anything, and you don't even know how long. Jane gives you a sympathetic, almost grandmotherly look. It sounds like somebody's hungry. You know, I was planning on baking something after taking care of, I was planning on baking something after taking care of the mail. Oh yeah, Jane. Yeah, that's another thing from the cursed. Yeah, people are telling me about the cursed history because it's kind of relates to this whole thing. But like, yeah, according to the cursed history, Jane is named after Calliope and Calimore's mother, who was named Calamity, as in like Calamity Jane. Calamity Jane is a thing. Yeah. Yeah, and that's like kind of the one point from the cursed history that's kind of interesting. So there's like a neat little lore bit. It's the same it's like the logic there. It's the same as how Grandma Jade took the name English to like spook HIC. HIC gave her adopted daughter the name of Lord English's mom just to spook him. Kind of a weird cycle of people stealing names to freak other people out. Now that I think about it. You know, I was planning on baking something after taking care of the mail. Although I guess that it took care of itself in the end. So, since Plan A seems to have gone up in a pillar of smoke, let's move swiftly on to Plan B. Fancy helping me whip a cake into submission? We can call it a thank you for saving my bacon back there. Gosh, that sounds like a wonderful idea. You feel like you could eat a horse, or even better, a horse made out of cake. You can't remember the last time you had cake, in fact. Oh. Now, if that isn't just about the saddest thing I've ever heard. Oh, that's cute. Jane sets you up with an apron, and starts pulling out ingredients and utensils. Oh no, is she gonna have to pull out her Crocker tier to like look up a recipe? Is that how this is gonna go badly? I can just see it already. It's the Crocker tier is where things are gonna go bad. Yeah. And Calamity Jane is, I believe she's like sort of like a folk hero from the American Old West, sort of, something like that. She's like one of those like those types of characters, semi-historical figure. Jane sets you up with an apron and starts pulling ingredients and utensils out of various cupboards and drawers. Seeing the various colorful bags and boxes all lined up at the kitchen counter fills you with excitement. The idea of collaborating with Jane to make something delicious puts your heart racing. Surely there can be no better path to friendship than this. Once you seem sure that she's got everything you need, Jane fiddles with the oven for a few seconds. Just need to set the oven to preheat. Okay, there we go. Now let's get cracking, shall we? You look around expectantly, hoping to see a recipe book or similar amid the collection of baking equipment. Oh no, we don't need one. My Junior Battle Master's Bowl Buster Stirring Solution 50,000 will do the trick just fine. A passionate, burning fire seems to ignite in Jane's eyes as she brandishes her trusty red spoon. With a well-practiced motion, she adjusts a series of buttons and dials on the side, and a vaguely feminine robot voice begins to speak out of it. Triple chocolate layer cake, medium rare. Medium rare? Medium rare cake? That's... No! Begin regime? Regime? Oh god. There's so many things wrong. So many things wrong with this. Jane nods to herself and presses another button. The voice begins listing off a series of ingredients and measurements. You guess this spoon must have a lot more tricks up its sleeve than you originally gave it credit for. Technology sure is amazing. Begin regime? Jesus Christ. Whoop, that was interesting. You begin to reach for the bag of flour, but with lightning speed, Jane leans over and grabs it herself. She doesn't even seem to notice that she had to bat your hand out of the way. Oh, well, that's alright. Jane seems to know what she's doing, and you'd hate to spoil her fun. In the blink of an eye, she has the flour measured out and reaches for the butter. Appraised solidified bovine extract? You will comply? Oh boy. Jane continues her work in a thorough and efficient manner, and the spoon continues reading out instructions in a calm, steady voice. It's somewhat soothing, even if the choice of vocabulary is a bit strange. It certainly seems to be relaxing Jane. Her face is a picture of intense concentration, but now her eyes appear dim and distant. She could almost be asleep. Okay, she's gonna hypno shit again. You're just coming to terms with the idea that baking with Jane is a spectator sport rather than a team game, when a sudden noise snaps her out of her trance. Oh! Her hand goes back to her pocket apron, and she fishes out her phone. Something on the screen makes her face light up with gentle excitement. You think you catch the sight of something green, but she doesn't give you a good look at it. Is this Jake, then? I have to, take care of this. Ooh. Whatever it is, it seems to give Jane a bit of a tizzy all of a sudden. She thrusts the spoon in your direction. Here. Just follow the instructions. You can't go wrong. This is all happening so fast, being entrusted with Jane's precious spoon, and so early in your friendship. This must be a great honor. She obviously believes in you a great deal. You try to assure Jane that you won't let her down, but she's already too engrossed in her phone to acknowledge it. You sigh to yourself knowingly. For all her antiquated phraseology and old-timey aesthetic, Jane is still a teen at heart. Add ingredients to vessel. Commence liquidation. Obey. Oh shit, you were so caught up being judgmental of a young person that you completely lost track of what you were doing, which was, dissolve dissected cola in boiling water. Submit to your labor. Excuse me. Hey, hang on a moment. You just barely managed to remember what the previous instruction was before the spoon moved to the next step already. Oh god, what were the other ingredients you needed to add? You try to guess, but there are too many things on the counter. You don't know what half of them even are. You spare a glance at Jane, hoping against hope that she's noticed your plight, but she's far too distracted to help you right now. You'll just have to work it out yourself. She's counting on you. Think, damn it, think! Fold coca paste into mixture. Make haste. The end is the end is nigh. Eggs! You don't remember doing anything with eggs, but the spoon definitely called for some a while ago. In a blind panic, you grab one and toss it into the bowl. Only after you've stirred into the mixture do you remember that it's generally best to remove the shell first. Oh, good lord. Pour cream into a small saucepan and heat over a low flame for a few minutes, ensuring that it does not boil or simmer. Once the cream is hot, remove the saucepan from heat. Cease reproduction. The calm robot voice isn't soothing to you. Not anymore. Its dulcet tones have become your tormentor. It wouldn't be so bad if it would slow down for a moment. But is there a speed setting to the spoon? You just have more time to think. Are you sure you would like to start over? Ah, wrong button. You can't go back. Not now. You cancel the prompt and grit your teeth in grim determination. You can fix this. You have to fix this. It's like Jane said all those minutes ago when she sent you on this quest. You can't go wrong. It's at this moment that your eyes land on the bag of sugar. The noticeably unopened bag of sugar. It's just sitting there, smirking at you, with a look of unbearable smugness to the colorful lettering on its face. Who? Me? What could you possibly need me in the cake for? You tear the bag open and dump the entire contents into a mixing bowl with an ice-cold fury. When you toss its gutted, lifeless husk on the... And then you toss its lifeless husk in the garbage. Cat! Don't play with that. And you toss its gutted, lifeless husk in the garbage where it belongs. Curse the lack of spoon skill. Revenge has never been sweeter. Oh god, that's terrible. Oh, Lordy, sorry to leave you in the lurch for so long. I had to deal with a friend in his daily moment of personal crisis. Although that's not really saying much. Quite frankly, most of his life seems to be one long personal crisis. And I suppose I'm hardly in a position to complain. I do so like his company at the end of the day. So, anyway, the cake. How have you been managing? You don't look up at Jane when she comes back over to you a few minutes later, seemingly oblivious to the devastation you've wrought in this poor kitchen. You stare down into the thick, lumpy batter sitting in the bowl in front of you, and in that stoogey, curdled mess you cannot help but see yourself, a complete and utter failure. Is everything alright? You want to tell her, to explain that no, Jane, everything is not alright. It's all gone to shit. You can't look anywhere except down, and you feel the bottom falling out of this friendship opportunity like that like that of a poorly supported Victoria sponge. Okay. Once Jane gets a good look at this batter, it's game over. You just know it. As she peeks over your shoulder at your handiwork, you brace yourself for the dreadful moment you felt so many times before, across countless alternate selves and timelines. You watch for the telltale signs of a person deciding that, whatever pathetic and somehow yet unspecified creature you are, they don't want you in their lives. But, strangely enough, the moment never comes. Instead, Jane puts a hand lightly on your shoulder and gives you a gentle smile full of teeth. There. No need to pull a face like that. So yes, this ended up being a bit of a missed venture, but it's not the end of the world. But Jane was counting on you, and you let her down. You had something that needed to be fixed, and you couldn't manage it. As on so many other occasions during your journey, you only made things worse. You try to convince Jane of your guilt in this matter, but she simply shakes her head. Oh, this is sweet. Oh, pshaw, you did nothing of the sort. You tried to make the best out of a bad, confusing ordeal, and nobody can blame you for that. Even if your best is, admittedly, a little suboptimal. But sometimes when things go wrong, it's not a simple case of being able to fix it by soldiering on blindly in the face of adversity. Sometimes the only way to set things up right is to cut your losses and start over from the beginning. And that's not really the same as giving up. You try with all your might to swallow this good advice Jane is serving you, but the look on your face must not be all that convincing. Jane sighs. Look, I'm sorry for abandoning you in an unfamiliar situation. It wasn't very responsible or leaderly. And certainly not becoming of a future president, corporate or otherwise. You suppose that's true. You guess you can accept that this mess was a group effort. Even in failure, it's important to acknowledge the power of teamwork. All the same, you hand Jane's rosy red spoon back to her. You are not worthy of its solemn mantle. Besides, some of the stuff that the robot voice said was beginning to seriously freak you out. Honestly, it meant a lot to me that you were willing to indulge my little hobby for a while. It may be the career path that I have been following my entire life, but you'd be surprised how little I get to talk with it about someone I'm close to. Anyway, wasn't the whole point that we were getting you something to eat, as thanks for saving my life? Oh yeah, you guess you did do that. Good job, you. Your chest puffs up instinctively a little bit with pride, but the motion causes your still empty stomach to make its presence felt again with a loud gurgle. Speaking of which, I still need to take care of that. Letting a friend go hungry is completely unacceptable. So, how does give me another try sound? Here's an idea. If you pick the recipe, I'll take care of the rest. I promise that I won't get distracted this time, alright? Yeah, that sounds nice. Especially the part where Jane called you a friend. That was the nicest part of all. Cutting your losses? That's adorable. I like that. That was good. That was a good time. So... that was cute. Jane's a good girl. Or she can be, when she's not trapped in the epilogues. Oh, what? Oh, no! God damn it! No! No! We were so close! So close! Oh, no! We were so close to a good ending. No! Damn it. Can't just continue that. We could have had it all. Rolling in the deep. Fuck. And you know what? You know what this is? This is a fucking metaphor for the epilogues. Is what this is. It's like Jane had her good ending, and then the story kept going and ripped it away. That's just Jane's whole character arc in a nutshell. That's what this is. That's what this route is. Fuck. Oh well. Okay. Well, this will be interesting when it's about to happen. Anyway, whatever. Okay. Here, you can look up the recipe using this. I'll lend my phone to you. I'd lend my phone to you, but, well, you know how it is with privacy. Ho-ho. Jane hands you what appears to be some sort of computerized tiara, stylishly cast in Crocker red plastic. You guess you just put it on? That's not too complicated. You've seen more peculiar user interfaces in your various travels across time and space, that's for sure. Who's that picture of the fridge? Betty Crocker? There? Good question. Yeah, that might be like... Yeah, that's probably Betty Crocker. And that might actually be HIC's disguise. Here we go. The device fits snugly on top of your head, despite your apparent lack of ears. You feel the unreal heiress thought wave tiara top begin to mesh psychically with your own brain, as you are mentally hooked up to the limitless potential of the internet. Every facet of human knowledge is at your cognitive fingertips. Your mind is awash with 100,000 pictures of cats in silly poses. Wow! And there's no music here, which is just perfect. Jane is ready and waiting for your instructions. All you have to do is reach out. So you do. You begin to comb the web for something tasty, and you will surrender yourself, and you will cease reproduction. You will cosplay, and you will comply, and you will comply, and you will comply. Wait, what? Obey. Cat, you gotta stop. All at once, something hits the inside of your skull and begins to ricochet around your synapses and neurons, seeming to fill every corner and crevice of your brain with a deafening wave of silent noise. A single instruction, uttered with incalculable force, impossible to ignore. This is giving me some very Doki Doki Literature Club vibes. Your mind, so susceptible to outside influence, is no match for it. You feel a million sharp pains as a million neural pathways are rearranged to form sharp angles in ordered lines and circuits, and in a blinding flash of light. Her design overwhelms every part of me and consumes every atom of me, and then retransmits and amplifies the whole in concert with her will. And I cannot know any different, because this is all that I am, and it is so much more than I was. And I see her worthless protege's face twist in a look of horror at the sight of my transformation, but I do not spare her a second glance as I look skyward. I am free of such concerns now. And in the eye of the mind that now belongs to her, I see the place I need to go and reach out with the power I stole, and I step forward into it. Oh no, this is actually really bad. I kind of forgot for a second that MSPA Reader is actually like a ludicrously powerful narrative force. And so this is like actually bad. Like, this is not just bad ending bad. This is, we might have just created a new supervillain. Like, literally, this would this iteration of MSPA Reader might be like a problem that has to be dealt with. And in her throne room, I kneel beneath her smile as she sets a course for everything. There are problems in this universe that require our attention. And I, her new weapon, smile too. We're going to fix everything. Oh, wow! And yeah, because yeah, this is Pesterquest. All endings exist. So like, this might like literally look at the troll. Look at the sweater. Look at that. Oh. Look at the shirt. That's spooky. Okay, so this might actually be the worst ending, like, so far. Because, like, we didn't just create a bad timeline. We created, like, another Doc Scratch is what we created, kind of. Oh, shit. Oh. Just Mina, people are saying? Yeah, just Monica, just Mina, just Mina. Ooh. Yeah, we just gave Connie the most powerful weapon in all of Paradox space. Oh, Jesus Christ. So that was... Whew, wow. Holy shit. Okay, well, so that was the bad ending. That was a good ending followed by a bad ending. So let's do this the right way. Solve a mystery. We done fucked up. Yeah, we have fucked up. Is my audio broken? No. No, it went silent for a while. Yeah. Yeah, it just went... It was silent for a long stretch of that, game there. Alright, now let's solve a mystery. It's been bothering you for a while, but for someone who claims to follow in the footsteps of the very gutsiest of gumshoes, Jane seems pretty unmotivated to find out who's been trying to murder her all these years. Excuse me. Perhaps you should use the means at your disposal to finally put this mystery to rest, once and for all. You suggest to Jane that maybe you should try to ascertain who the parcel was sent by. By whom the parcel was sent. What? Grammar, silly. It's very important. Ah, of course. You suppose you agree with that. After all, this is a text-based medium, and shoddy craftsmanship can only ever obscure information. Is that like a... That feels like a self-deprecating joke. Proper adherence to linguistic conventions is of the utmost importance, ensuring the conveyance of salient details in a timely and comprehensible manner. But damn it, Jane, now isn't the time. You've got a case to solve. Yes, all right, but what exactly are you proposing we do? There's very little evidence that we could feasibly collect. The two of you look forlornly out the window again, down to where the mailbox should be. Jane is right. That avenue of investigation went up in smoke a few minutes ago. The investigation has barely gotten started and the trail has already gone cold in a blazing ball of fire. I'd suggest talking to the mail officer similar, but I don't suppose they know anything detailed about the package's origins. It's not like regular mail workers have access to that kind of information. To make matters worse, the mail is one of the few public services Crocker doesn't partially own, so I wouldn't be able to pull any strings. I don't suppose there was anyone watching at the time the bomb was placed either. You have to admit, well, time for a little time travel, I think, would solve this problem. You have to admit, the possibility seems somewhat remote, but that gives you an idea. If there aren't any witnesses to hand, why not make some yourselves? What? Bribe someone to falsify testimony or similar? That's certainly a novel way of going about it. Jane seems to be giving a lot more thought than you would have expected, but in any case, that wasn't at all what you meant. You explained to Jane that, far from merely being able to transportalize between any two physical locations, you also possess the ability to time travel-ificate to any point in the past or future. Not to be rude, considering you did just save my life and everything, but that does sound more than a little far-fetched. Jane seems pretty skeptical about this, but you honestly can't be bothered to work through all of her personal misgivings about belief in the feasibility of time travel right now. You've been through this with more than a dozen people already. You decided to take a more proactive approach. Seeing is believing, after all. You grab her wrist and zap back in time. Jane? Meet past Jane? Jane? Meet future Jane? You trust that this will suffice as evidence? I don't... Alright, moving on. You appear fine next to the bush that you had hid behind earlier, and take refuge in it once again. A conveniently abandoned wristwatch on the ground nearby indicates that you've traveled an hour into the past. No sign of the white cat yet, but... Why is there an abandoned wristwatch on the ground? I feel like there either is an explanation for that, and I've forgotten about it, or there will, in the future, be an explanation for that. The mailbox is there in all of its beautiful, unexploded majesty, but stands empty as of right now. This is perfect. All you have to do now is wait for the proof to come to you. See, Jane? Isn't this exciting? Isn't this exciting? Jane? Yay! Ah! Roxy! Perfect. 911, what's your emergency? Please note that misplaced apostrophes and stop signs does not constitute an emergency. And... Lord! Help! I'm stuck in the past! Jane, you have... you have no idea. You have no idea. Help! I'm stuck in the past! LMAO? Yes. Yes, you are. What was it that... What did that tip you off? Was it the fact that nobody else talks like it's the 1920s? What? No! I mean this entirely literally. And I'm quite literally stuck in the past in a temporal sense. Oh. Oh my god, wait, really? Who told you that? Oh, Jane's face. Was it TT? I bet it was TT. Strider! No, you're not listening to me. Oh, there are just two different conversations happening here, and I love it. I love every second of this. I've been transported back in time by a mysterious entity who recently saved my life from yet another ridiculous assassination attempt. Oh. Okay. Damn. False alarm. Wait, GCAT can time travel now? No, this is a different mysterious entity. They don't seem related to the God Cat, as far as I can tell. They rescued me from a parcel bomb in the mailbox a short while ago, and have since taken it upon themselves to help me find who was responsible. They're remarkably enthusiastic about the issue, almost as if this were their civic duty somehow. So... a number of mysterious abilities, intimate knowledge of mail safety, and a compulsion to aid random citizens. Are you sure this person isn't just a mailman, your mailman, Janie? I mean, who knows what kind of magic those little guys can pull off? I'm pretty certain they have absolutely nothing to do with the profession of mail delivery in any practical sense. Anyway, the point is we're now an hour in the past from our perspective, waiting for the perpetrator to place a bomb that not a few minutes ago threatened to blow me to Kingdom Come. It's a bit much to take in. Well, shucks, Buster. Shucks, Buster, indeed. While Jane has busied herself with something on her phone, you've been keeping a lookout for anything suspicious. So far, nothing has happened, but now, just out of sight, you can hear the telltale sounds of a vehicle approaching. It's like, I'm stuck in the past. Wait, who told you? I love this. And yes, Roxy immediately happened upon the idea that we're a mailman too. It's like, John and Roxy, separated by universes and centuries, made the same false assumption about MSPA Reader. Yeah. There's like one thing I hope. Like, I do hope that like somewhere that like it's like I hope, and I do honestly think it's possible. I think at somewhere we will get to see a version of John and Roxy that like get together in Homestuck 2. That seems like a very likely outcome that'll happen. It's like, really, it's like, I think the most likely option is that June and Roxy will get together because, you know, because it's like the symmetry there is appealing to me. Anyway, you can hear the telltale sign of a vehicle approaching. You quickly and gently elbow Jane in the ribs to get her attention, and the two of you peek your heads tentatively out of the bush. It's like poetry, it rhymes, exactly. You watch as an unassuming van pulls up outside of the house. You keep watching as an unremarkable person gets out and carries a small piece of mail over to the mailbox, totally unsuspiciously. From this distance, you can't really make out anything about them at all. This isn't nearly as helpful or informative as you had hoped. This is no good. We can't see anything. We can't see anything from all the way over here. Excuse me. I think we might have to resort to one of the more advanced tactics in every detective's arsenal. Violence? I propose we accost this delivery worker, tie them up, and then scrupulously interrogate them for any information they might have. You guess that would work? Jane seems remarkably unconcerned about the ethical qualms inherent in assaulting a public servant, and at some point you would have found this extremely alarming, but after a few months in Alternia, you are so accustomed to this kind of thing that the thought of actually disagreeing doesn't even occur to you. Jane gets into a position to lead the charge. You reach your hand into a Terran reality, rummage around for a moment, and retrieve a long length of rope from somewhere in Terrazy's hive. Hopefully she won't miss it. I'm just imagining an arm. I'm just imagining a retcon arm reaching into Terrazy's hive and just yoinking one of her, and her watching, well, you know, watching, quote unquote, just the whole thing happen. Okay, whatever, fine. Watching in the metaphorical sense, since she doesn't actually see. You see with me? Yeah, you're with me. It's like the text keeps saying that Terrazy sees shit lately. Like, that's another thing. Like it always bugs me every time it happens where, like, somebody or something in the narrative will reference Terrazy watching something happen. It's like, no, she's not watching. She's blind, you fool. You mutter a quick prayer of apology to the guardian deities of male workers everywhere, and then, now. The two of you leap from your hiding spot and tackle the hapless stranger just as they are about to climb back into the van. Have at you! Jade is brandishing her trusty spoon as threateningly as any sword. The poor defenseless postman is taken completely by surprise and topples to the ground. You quickly tie their arms and legs and then zap all three of you back out of sight behind the bushes again. Then Jane sets to work. She fixes your captive with a cast iron stare, and with ruthless efficiency begins to rattle off a relentless stream of astute and insightful questions. Her tongue is like a whip, beating her query into submission. You watch in silent horror as she verbally dismantles this unfortunate soul, piece by fearful piece. It's like watching a dozen interrogation scenes from a dozen gritty crime dramas and noir film flicks all at once. She pretends to smoke an invisible cigar at one point, seemingly without noticing at all. You don't even have words for what she does with the spoon. When Jane finally pauses to catch her breath, the nameless and faceless courier manages to choke out a few words and spill the beans. It is a scant few beans, you are sorry to say. They say they don't know much. Hell, with the dame roughing you up like that, they can't even remember their own name. But they do remember the mysterious package marked, "Handle with care," and addressed to the Crocker residence. They say they remember thinking that there was nowhere else the package could have been headed. With a surname like that, it was only fitting. You know, with the big red spoon on the side of the box and everything. Jane doesn't say anything else. She just stands up and unties the prisoner. They are free to go. You flash them a look, which you hope says something like, "Sorry for helping this distressed teenager tie you up in order to satisfy her curiosity, and I appreciate your ongoing public service, but you've never been great at nonverbal communication." So yeah, the assassination came from Crocker, of course, from Crocker Corp, because where else would it be? A notification rings out from Jane's phone. Perhaps chatting to a friend in this trying time will offer her some comfort. You wander a short distance away, allowing Jane some space to process what's happened. You've learned the hard way that privacy is a fundamental right that should always be respected. How goes the investigation? Did you threaten a retail worker or something yet? Oh my god, Janie, you did, didn't you? God damn it, we talked about this. Jane, are you okay? No. I can't believe that I'm typing this. The company. My company. It appears that they were the ones who sent the bomb. Oh. Okay. You were right about them, I suppose. You're being serious right now? You're not, like, pranking me super hard for the mega lulz? No, of course not. I'm hardly in a joking mood. Aww. Jane, this is great. What? You finally pulled through. The batter bitch had the wool over your eyes by no more. I'm so happy. What? No, this is awful. Oh, right. Of course. What I meant was that... will you please just stop talking for a second? I can't think with your endless, ruddy-faced blithering all the time. I nearly died for the umpteenth time this morning, but survived only to have my entire worldview start to collapse before my very eyes, by way of some mysterious time travel magic. Jeez Louise, this is easy for you.
fact, this must be Christmas and birthday come early for all three of you. You finally got what you wanted, which is to prove me wrong. Your insane collective conspiracy about my entire life being part of some evil plot looks like it might just hold water after all. Congratulations! Go on, say that you told me so. Here, I'll even type it out for you to copy and paste so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Any more fucking spelling errors. I told you so. No. I'm really not sure what to say. You're kind of scaring me. I'm sorry, this is scaring me too. Jane sighs. You guess the conversation must be taking a turn for the heavy, but you can't say for sure. You're feeling good about your decision not to pry into this private discussion? Oh yes, you have no idea what's happening in this private discussion. It would truly be some kind of fucked up to intrude in such a vulnerable moment when people are rarely seen at their best. It feels as though I'm in the middle of an ocean. Ugh. Alright. Back with the fucking ocean metaphors again. It's just what I need. Yeah, we get enough of this shit with Dirk. It feels as though I'm in the middle of an ocean. Scratch that, it feels like my whole world is an ocean. Something so immense, so dark, so vast and deep that I can't even begin to imagine what might be beneath the surface. Everything that I've ever known, everything that I've ever been is sinking down into it and vanishing with nary a trace. And my only solace is to jump of my own volition before I'm pulled under by force. And what, is someone going to catch me and help me stay afloat? The only float my best friend is... The only float my best friend in the whole world has any familiar with is flipping cocktails. Oh my god, Jane, I know you're like being kind of mean and exasperated right now, but it means a lot to hear that I'm your best friend. Really. Heart? Heart? Roll up, please. I'm trying to express the depths of my existential confusion over here. The ocean, Lalonde, the abyssal infinite ocean. Can you even imagine what that's like? And second thought, never mind. This whole analogy is contrived and nonsensical and couldn't possibly have any emotional relevance to anyone. Where's the booze? I need something stronger than the water, boys. Good grief. Another sigh. God, I'm sorry. I'm not handling this well at all. I mean, to be honest, no. But I don't know. I don't know what precise arrangement of emotional responses would even realistically qualify to, as, quote, handling this whale well. Fish pun for topic appropriateness. Like, I guess I'd like this whole plan for how you get to accept the truth. I had like this whole plan for how to get you to accept it, and it would have worked because, let's be real, I'm a fucking genius. Who actually corrected something that wasn't actually a problem. That's great. But also, I'm pretty sure it would have involved blowing up the whole bunch more shit. Or at least mega escapades. How about shenanigans? Oh, you know it. Shenanigans out the ass. The point is... Shenanigans out the ass. The point is, I knew that it would be hard. Maybe hazardous to our relationship and our physical health. But I knew that you were worth it. And also for what tits worth. I don't give an effing fuck about dunking on your ass. None of us do. With the third and final huff, Jane slumps down on the ground, visibly deflated. All the tempest and fury is gone out of her, and now she's just sitting and gazing glumly at the wall of bubblegum pink on her screen. She seems utterly miserable. You want to comfort her, to offer solace and friendly counsel in this trying time. There comes a moment in every team's upbringing when she realizes that the globe-spanning multi-billion-dollar corporation which is her birthright has also been responsible for some pretty shady and heinous nonsense, including multiple attempts on her own life. That's just part of growing up. But somehow you can't find the words, and maybe it's not your place to comment anyway. Excuse me. Before you can think of something to say, Jane shakes her head and starts typing again. Alright, that's enough sitting around feeling all forlorn. I'm feeling pretty okay, actually. No, me, I'm talking about myself. This new reality is one that I simply have to accept, whether I like it or not, and it's no good being glum about it, especially now if it leads me to mistreat my nearest and dearest. So I'm not going to be the leader of a worldwide mega corporation. Big deal. There are better things to be applying my savvy towards. And friends who have my back, for instance. The friends who have my back, for instance. Oh my god, Jane, I'm loving the new enthusiasm. I understand I've been remiss in my duties of late, but that ends now. Where once I had a duty to my inheritance, now I have a duty to those who care about me. The call of leadership comes from elsewhere. Oh my god, yes, those words you're typing. Meaningful and full of poignancy. Jane strikes a pose. Oh, this is adorable. Look at her. Look at her. Jane strikes a pose that looks at once determined, bold, fearless, and resolute, and all while still typing furiously away on her mobile. It goes to show just how hard she must have trained for a moment like this. And so, for my first act as a responsible friend with eyes unclouded by the sugary gaze of a manipulative baking empire, I say it ends here. A game in which we've been pawns for years stops today. Yes! Hell yes! Yes, yes. I think I've rather gone off the idea of games altogether, haven't you? Specifically, the game. Alpha. Wait, what? The Alpha. I've decided I'm not going to participate. It's a Crocker top product, and it's clearly part of some grand evil scheme or other. It'd be positively suicidal to consider playing it at this point. Well, yes, but oh boy, we have thrown this timeline out of whack too. Perfect. But what? There's no doubt in my mind about it. Furthermore, as your friend, and as one recently reminded of her duty to care in this regard, I feel like I should strongly advise against any of us playing it, or anyone at all for that matter. Now that I think about it, it's our solemn responsibility to ensure that nobody ever gets their hands on this game. Just imagine the havoc it could wreak. We've got 1 week before the beta is due to release. I'm certain we can think of some nefarious schemes to disrupt it in the meantime, if we work together as a team. I trust I'll be able to count on your hacksaw skills in this endeavor? Sure! Completely accidentally lack of excitement. My 6 skills are yours to command. I knew it. You're the best Befsy one could hope for. Jane clears her throat, pockets her phone, and seems to have reached some kind of conclusion. That chat looked from the outside like it was one huge emotional journey from start to finish. You're glad that Jane seems to be feeling better for having had it, whatever they ended up talking about. Sometimes all you need is a friend to vent things towards in a healthy and productive manner. I suppose I should thank you again. Without your help, I may never have learned the truth. It's quite possible I would have lived out the rest of my potentially very short life without another opportunity to see things for what they really were. I don't know how I shall repay you. Since nothing today has changed the fact that Jane is ludicrously wealthy, you can think of a great number of ways she could feasibly repay you, but that might be pushing it just a little too far all at once. So instead, you effortlessly spin some yarn about this being what friends are for, and so on. It's a speech you've given many, many times before. We've turned Jane and crew into an intercompany sabotage, which is pretty great. I've depended on you for look at that! I've depended on you for a great deal, but now I think it's time to forge my own destiny and under my own steam. I'll show the world what Jane Crocker can accomplish with naught but her 2 bare hands. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an existential crisis to avert. Existential crisis? Yay! Oh, this is fun. This is like a little callback to John's bad ending. I like that. So that's interesting. Kind of fucked with Roxy's plans to get her mom back, but that never was going to work out anyway. So, let's see what the achievements for this are. Okay, and we did that was an actual ending, not another fake out. Cooking by the book. You set Jane down the path of leadership. Hooray! That was a good one. So yeah, that was nice. Call of leadership. Okay. So yeah, this bodes well for later Alpha Kids routes. Yeah. So yeah, we'll just we'll see where we go from here. Nothing bad happened to Jane, but there's still Dirk. Check the credits for the music track. Oh yeah, credits. Written by Pip Dillerstone, which is a name I am completely unfamiliar with. Art by same person who did Dave and Carcat, etc. I love how Terra's name is a QR code. Jane's name is called I Guess. Jane's Theme, I Guess. By James Roach. Nice. Alright. And that is the end of that. Yeah, there's no bad achievement. Yeah, there's no achievement for the bad ending, which is interesting. Anyway. Oh yeah, Taboo Fox did Kanaya's name. I forgot about that. Yeah. That's a fairly terrifying, that bad ending's going to come back and haunt us in some way. But for now, I have to go, because after all that water, I really have to use the bathroom. So, that's it for that stream. We'll be back in a couple weeks with Jake, probably. That would be my guess. They're probably going to go in order like they did with the beta kids, so I'm guessing Jake, Roxy, then Dirk. Alright. See you later. Bye-bye.